Hi guys, welcome back to WD18, the Watford fan channel, and welcome to the FIFA 20 Watford Manager Career Mode. Yes, it has returned. I'm absolutely buzzing to start this career mode. You guys seem to love the FIFA content on the channel, and you seem to love a Watford career mode. Last time we did this, we did a couple of episodes, and the views were incredible, the support was fantastic, and you guys were really engaging in the comments about what to do, who to sign, how I was getting on, and that was great to see. And I thought during this time of isolation, I'd love to bring the career mode back. So that's what we've done, FIFA 20 Watford Manager Career Mode. I'm so excited to get this underway. A few things to note, the first of which is that we are using the current squads, the latest squads on FIFA 20. So, for example, one player who now plays for Watford is Ignacio Paceto, who joined in January from Udinese. He wasn't at the club at the start of the season, but for the career modes and to make it more realistic, I think, using the squads if they were going to play at this moment, we've decided to go on with the latest squads. I've also chosen the ultimate difficulty for the AI, which I'm excited about but a little bit nervous about as well, because I've played on Legendary before in the previous FIFAs, but they've included Ultimate on this FIFA, and I've played a couple of games and it is really tough, but again, it's the most realistic, I think, difficulty. If it gets too hard, I guess we can put it back to Legendary, but I thought we've got to go on Ultimate, give ourselves a real test. If we have a look at the expectations from the board, we've got youth development at very low, brand exposure at medium. The most important one for me is domestic success, and that is to finish mid-table in the Premier League and reach the round of 16 of the FA Cup. For me, the Premier League has to be a priority, and I'd like to finish in the top half. The formation I'm going to be using on this FIFA 20 career mode initially is the 4-2-2. Now, this was a formation implemented by Javi Gracia last season. The two positions I'm looking to strengthen in this summer transfer window is a left-footed centre-half and also a winger that can play left and right midfield. Now, the first thing I've decided to do is have a look through the squad hub, see who I want to keep, who I want to sell, and who I want to put out on loan. Now, the young players, there's going to be quite a few at Watford who won't really get a lot of game time, and the likes of Parks in goal. But there's older players, experienced players like Jose Holebas that I think need to be moved on. He's got 1 year left on his contract. He's an ageing left back, and I think I could get some money for him before he goes on a free. Another player is Roberto Pereira. For me, he's surplus to requirements. He's on a big wage. He's not going to be used on that left-hand side, and he wants to leave. So I think Roberto Pereira is certainly one that we can get some interest from big clubs from. Another player I've got put out on loan is Tom Deli Bashiru, Domingos Quina. They need some game time. They need to be improving and hopefully be involved next season alongside Adalberto Peñaranda. So there's certain players on here that actually aren't really needed. Another one is Isaac Success as well. We need to move him on. We've got too many strikers at the club. We need to get some money in the bank so we can actually potentially invest in some other areas. But of course, we've got the likes of Cucho, Hernandez and Luis Suarez to come back if needed. First game of the cultural era, it's Schalke in the Preseason Cup. We do actually lose 2-1. Diatta gets injured, but I'll be honest, guys, I'm not particularly bothered about the Preseason Cup. But we go off back into the received offers, and Troy Deeney, we've got an offer from Saint Etienne for £7.7 million. Now, I'm not going to sell Troy under any circumstances. That wouldn't be realistic. I want to keep him at the club. He's the captain after all, and I think it'd be a big blow letting him go. We then receive an offer from Real Sociedad for Etienne Capoue, and he's a player that I'm not going to sell again under any circumstances. He's so crucial to Watford's side. That's £10.4 million. No thank you. I've blocked all offers, and we have our second pre-season game against Galatasaray. Unfortunately, it was another loss, but we're giving some players some game time, and that's the most important thing. Saint Etienne came in again for another Watford striker, that's Andre Gray, £7.7 million, and I'll be honest, I'm willing to let Andre Gray go. He's not really going to be played. He's a bench player at best, and we can get some good money for him. So I was willing to enter negotiations with Saint Etienne. So after a little bit of negotiations with the Saint Etienne representative, we managed to secure an 8 million transfer sum for Andre Gray. Probably a little bit less than I would have wanted. I was looking for £9.5 million for Andre, but I was willing to sell him on. It's a bit above his current value. They were really interested in him, and I thought, actually, let's get some money in the bank and look to invest elsewhere. Bizarrely, we then received an offer for Adrian Mariappa from an Argentinian club. It wasn't a really good offer. Adrian Mariappa is only 74 rated, but I didn't really want to let him go before we got another centre-back in, so I rejected that offer. So we're out the Preseason Cup, a 4-0 defeat to Frankfurt. We lost all 3 games, but I'm not particularly fussed. But we go back onto the transfer hub, and we received an £8.7 million offer for Roberto Pereira. A really interesting one because it's from Leicester, a club that I didn't actually expect to come in for Pereira. I thought it would be a club abroad. And of course, I've put Roberto Pereira on the transfer market, so I'm willing to negotiate. I'd like to get a little bit more for him, maybe around the £10 million mark. But I was willing to go into negotiations with Leicester and get him out of the club. Roberto Pereira's current value is actually £8 million. Leicester were willing to pay £8.7 million. I wanted 10.5, and then in the end, they just agreed. They didn't want the deal to fall through, and they agreed on the £10.5 million fee that I requested. There's a lot of transfer activity in this episode. We received an offer from Burnley for Isaac Success. If you remember, I did put him on the transfer market, £3.55 million, and I just was willing to accept it. Get Success out of the club. We received another offer for Aurelio Gomez. I rejected it. He's leaving, so there's no real point in selling him for a cheap amount. And confirmation there that Andre Gray was sold to Saint Etienne. So as you can see, a number of the players in the Watford squad are attracting interest from elsewhere, and I thought it's time to do a bit of transfer business myself. So I've shortlisted 3 centre-backs that I've been scouting. Nathan Ake, the Bournemouth centre-half. Now, if you remember, Nathan was actually at Watford during the 2015-16 campaign under Quique Sanchez-Flores, and he was fantastic, and it'd be great to bring him back to Watford from a Premier League rival like Bournemouth. We've got Diallo from PSG. He's a left-footed centre-back. And we've also got Kabak from Schalke. He's 19 years of age, a massive potential. Only 77 rated though. Not a massive upgrade on what we have at the moment. Initially, I went for Diallo from PSG. He was a little bit taller than Nathan Ake, but PSG had only recently acquired the player, so they weren't willing to sell. It was then a toss-up between Ake and Kabak, and I went for Ake in the end. The only reason being was he was a left-footed centre-back that I was looking for. He can play left-back. He's been at Watford before. I knew it'd be difficult to buy from Bournemouth. They know, obviously, Watford were in need of a centre-back. And obviously, with it being a Premier League rival, they're going to ask for a little bit more than his current value is probably worth. It's £15.5 million, Ake's current value is. But we ended up paying around £17 million, which I don't think is a bad deal. He's 80 rated. He's only 24, so there's potential for growth there as well. So I agreed a £17 million fee with Eddie Howe for Nathan Ake, and then we entered negotiations with the player. We offered those terms to Nathan Ake, and he became our first signing of this FIFA 20 Watford career mode. Nathan Ake has returned to Watford after his loan spell in 2015-16, but it's great to get a real high-quality centre-back like Nathan Ake at the club, and he'll fill in at left centre-back, replacing Craig Cathcart. We then received confirmation that Roberto Pereira had left Watford to join Brendan Rodgers' Leicester. Confirmation there that Peñaranda joined Torino on loan, and Domingos Quina went to the Bundesliga to play for Hertha Berlin. So 2 big clubs actually in their respective divisions, and great to see them go out on loan, and hopefully they get some game time ahead of next season. So we signed our first player of this FIFA 20 Watford career mode in Nathan Ake, and then I looked to get our second signing of this window. I didn't want to go crazy in the transfer market, but I wanted to pick a couple of players that I really thought could improve the current squad, and one of those was Crepin Diatta, who plays for Club Bruges. He can play on the right and the left-hand side. He's only 20 years of age. He's a Senegalese player, 4-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves, and he's absolutely rapid, and particularly alongside Ismaila Sarr, that's going to cause teams problems. So Diatta, we went into negotiations with Club Bruges. I really wanted to get this one over the line. If you remember, Roberto Pereira was 77 rated and 28. Crepin Diatta is 77 rated and 20 years of age, so a real bright future. So initially, I got it completely wrong. I went in with £10.5 million for Diatta, but Club Bruges were playing no games. They wanted £20.5 million for the Senegalese winger, and this was a little bit too pricey for me at that time. But then I thought he's a player that would fit really well in the squad. I've been scouting him for a long time as well during the summer, and I thought this is a player that would bring a lot to the Watford squad. We then, in the end, loosely agreed on £17.5 million, and Club Bruges were going to get back to me to see if the deal had been accepted. 5 days later, Club Bruges did in fact accept our bid for Diatta, which was great news. We entered negotiations with the player and his agent. We got the deal over the line, which I'm buzzing about. We offered him an important squad role, a 5-year contract, £31,000 a week, and a £300,000 signing on bonus. If he plays 10 games, he gets £320,000. So some good figures there, and actually he's on half the amount that Ismaila Sarr is. So a really good deal, and I'm buzzing to get this one over the line. I'd been scouting him for a while since I actually started the career mode. And to get our 2 top targets into the Watford squad, it's going to add a lot. Nathan Ake and Crepin Diatta are our 2 signings so far. So with that Diatta deal, we managed to complete the youth development objective of the season. It was a very low priority, but it was to sign at least one player younger than 20 years old with potential greater than the average overall rating of players currently in the same position. So it's great to get that over the line, and immediately we stuck him in training, and Diatta went from 77 to 78. So him and Ismail Assar down that left and right hand side. In terms of transfer offers, we received another one for a centre-back, Christian Cabasele, our second best centre-back now, from Leicester, who are really interested in our players, but I rejected that. I didn't want to sell Caba. I think it would be a waste to do that. And him alongside Ake should be a solid centre-half pairing. But the team's looking really good now, particularly that front 4 of Diatta, Delafeu, Dini and Sarr. That looks fantastic. 2 holding midfielders are Capu, Decore, and the defence has been strengthened with Ake coming in as well. Looking ahead to August, we've got Brighton in our next match. That will be played in the next episode. Everton, West Ham at home and Newcastle away, so some difficult fixtures. We didn't fare too well in real life against these teams, actually losing our first 4 games of the season, but hopefully we can get off to a better start than we did under Javi Gracia, which ultimately got him sacked. So that is where we're going to wrap up the first episode of this FIFA 20 Watford career mode. Really enjoyed making it. If you did enjoy watching it, make sure you do leave a like. Do not forget to comment down below what you thought of my signings, what you thought of the tactics, the formation. Do you think I should sell or keep any players? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more FIFA content, don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode. Cheers, guys.